Every founder starts with that big idea. But let's be real, an idea by itself isn't worth much without a fortress to protect it. And no, we're not going to bore you with dusty legal paperwork today. We're talking about how to turn your intellectual property into your sharpest weapon, your biggest competitive advantage.
So you've had that amazing aha moment, right? The idea that feels like it could change everything. But then comes the big question, the one that might keep you up at night. In a world that's full of copycats, how do you make sure that brilliant idea stays yours? How do you turn a concept into a rock-solid asset? That's exactly what we're going to break down.
All right, so here's our game plan. We'll start with the classic dilemma every innovator runs into. Then, we'll dive into why your own backyard is a strategic battlefield. After that, we'll cover what makes a great IP partner, how you can actually find one, and finally, how to pull it all together into an IP blueprint that really works.
Okay, first up, the innovator's dilemma. What is that really? Well, it's this catch-22, you know? You have to talk about your idea to get funding, to build a team, but the second you do, it's out there, it's vulnerable. So the answer isn't to just keep quiet. The real solution is to build that fortress, a legal and strategic one that lets your idea thrive right out in the open.
And here's the thing that a lot of people miss. The key to protecting your idea isn't just buried in some thick law book. A really strong IP strategy, one that actually works, is all about understanding your specific turf, your geography, the community you're in, and how it all plugs into your bigger business strategy.
All right, to make this super clear, let's get specific. We're going to zoom in on one particular place, Skokie, Illinois. Now look, you probably don't live in Skokie, and that's totally fine. The point is, by breaking down their environment, we can create a playbook that you can use, no matter where you are, to understand your own local battlefield.
So first things first, you've got to map out the economic landscape. In our Skokie example, the big players are healthcare and manufacturing. What does that mean? Well, if you're innovating in medtech or green manufacturing, you've got a built-in local market. So what are the big industries where you are? And this is a big one. Are there any local or state perks, like R&D tax credits, that can help you pay for your patent?
Okay, next, let's talk about the ecosystem around you. Skokie is close to Chicago, which means easy access to universities and investors. And why does that matter for your IP? Think about it. Universities are gold mines for research and talent. And investors? A lot of them won't even give you the time of day if you don't have your IP locked down. So what does your support system look like?
And this one is huge. You absolutely have to know the legal and competitive scene. Being near Chicago, Skokie startups have to watch rulings from a major court for IP cases. Knowing how judges in your area tend to rule on these things, that's insider info that helps you build a much stronger patent from day one. It's not just about what your competitors sell, it's about their patent strategy too.
All right, so you've mapped your battlefield. You know the lay of the land, but a map's no good if you can't read it, right? You need a guide. And that brings us to maybe your most important ally in this whole process, the right patent law firm.
So, how do you spot a great firm versus just a good one? It's about finding a real partner, not just someone who files paperwork. Think of it like a 4-point checklist. First, they've got to have a proven track record in your industry. Second, their strategies need to be all about your business goals, not just legal wins. Third, that client-centric focus is a must-have. And finally, they should be using modern tech to give you an edge.
Let's dig into that client-centric idea for a second, because it's a buzzword, but it really means something. It's way more than just good customer service. It means they take the time to actually get what you're trying to do, whether that's raising money, breaking into a new market, or just blocking a competitor. A real partner also teaches you along the way, so you can make smarter IP decisions yourself.
So here it is, the big difference, laid out side by side. On one hand, you've got a reactive firm. They just file patents. On the other, a strategic partner. They're analyzing the whole market for you. They're not just protecting one idea, they're helping you build a whole wall of patents to keep competitors out. One is basically a vendor, the other is a core part of your team, helping you win. Okay, that sounds awesome, right? But where do you actually find a firm like that? Let's get down to brass tacks and talk about how to do the search.
You can really boil it down to 3 key steps. 1, start online, sure, but don't just scratch the surface. 2, dig deep into their case studies and testimonials. Are they solving the kinds of problems you have? And 3, and this is so important, get offline, talk to people, go to industry meetups. There's no substitute for hearing about someone's firsthand experience.
You know, there's a quote that really hits the nail on the head here. This isn't like picking a restaurant for dinner. This is a huge decision for your business. You can't just go with the firm that has the flashiest ad. You've got to do your homework to find a partner who truly gets your vision.
All right, let's pull all these threads together. We've looked at the battlefield. We've talked about finding your ally. Now it's time to draw up that final blueprint for a real, sustainable, competitive edge.
So, if you remember one thing from all this, let it be this. A winning IP strategy isn't just one thing. It's this powerful combination of two pieces. First, your deep, personal knowledge of your own local battlefield. And second, an expert partner who can turn that knowledge into a legal fortress that actively helps your business grow.
So I'm going to leave you with one final question to chew on. Look at your own idea, your own business. Is your IP strategy just some generic, off-the-shelf thing? Or is it truly custom-built for the unique challenges and opportunities of your specific battlefield? Because honestly, the answer to that question could be the difference between success and failure.